Who's Batman?
Personally, I prefer Christian Bale. Maybe Robert Pattinson
Christian's Bale. I barely know him.
or Andrew Garfield. I like him the best. Just fucking like the old school screen, like where it just like cuts to like the fucking like TV going out of commission basically on cable.
We'll be right back after I beat Liam's ass.
You know, sometimes I wish that happened with what we're going to talk about today a little bit. I would have maybe preferred seeing that a little bit. Just tuning out and fucking seeing tuning out and just seeing some old school trippy fucking cut to fucking we don't have anything rather than what we kind of got with this Netflix movie today. No, I'm just kidding. I really didn't hate this or anything. But I did not love it either. I will say that. Yes, and I have not talked to you about how I feel about this movie we're going to talk about today, which is The Rip on Netflix. Movie you actually suggested to me, right, buddy?
I sure did. Because it was new.
It had some people we've been seeing in some movies we've been watching a lot recently.
Yeah, that was basically the only other reason.
Me and Austin here have been on a Kevin Smith kick.
The
recently.
Kevin Smith-a-thon, I've deemed it.
Yep. But yeah, today we're here to talk about the Rip, and it's the new Netflix movie with Benny Affleck and Matt Damon.
I feel like by the end of this, we're gonna say the Rip as many times as it was said in that fucking movie. If you need a new drinking game, every time those words come out of somebody's mouth, just take a fucking shot.
They did say it a lot.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like every fucking few minutes. What was the name of the movie? Don't bother looking.
The Rip. We gotta remind them. They're on their phone a lot. Yeah. I mean, I think I literally saw something where they were talking about how like it's not even a big action piece, but the action piece they have at the beginning with the female character.
What I think she was a captain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one that Ben Affleck's character had a relationship with. That was not like a super crazy action thing, right? It was pretty like low key action.
I think
thing.
Most of the action was like from the end of probably like the center point of the film and then the end of it.
Yeah.
Like the end of it.
Like the last like third basically, right?
Yeah. I
feel
would
like
say
the first like 2/3, maybe like you said, maybe like 60% of the way.
Yeah, because there was like some drama and like here and there like bullshit build up, but
yeah,
it wasn't a entire time action movie.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
No. I think most of it was actually focused on kind of like it was basically kind of I think one of those movies where they're trying to make you kind of go like who's the bad guy.
No, exactly. It was definitely a psychological thriller.
Mm-hmm.
But
and like I guess that's pretty on the nose also because Matt Damon's character literally had like are we the bad guys or whatever on like tattooed to him or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lot of this movie is you kind of questioning like is Ben Affleck the one that's the snitch basically or like like working with like the bad guys.
Yeah.
Or is it Matt Damon?
Is it the cartel? Is
Yeah.
it a federal agency? Is it a city agency? It definitely makes you question, ponder.
I just didn't think like this did not have like a lot of like I think people were talking about the action with this or something, and it wasn't like bad, but it was not good for me
I
either.
think
Like kind of like I said at the beginning of
for
this, how I
what
felt.
like the majority of action movies have
Hmm.
given us the last couple of years, I think it's up there. I think for me, in my opinion, loose as my pussy lips are, I think it's safe to say that the action when it occurred was
Uh-huh.
up there for like a modern day action piece. But
Hmm.
again, it's classified as thriller apparently. It is more psychological,
Well, it all depends on like what I
but
think.
I think that might be a factor in like people saying that right now.
Well, know what else I think it is too, and like I think you'll probably agree with this is like it all depends on what you're looking for in a movie too, because like I think to me it's a lot of gunplay, and to me like when people say it's an action movie, just because it has a gunplay, I'm like, that doesn't mean it's like a great action movie or the action, excuse me, is really good or anything like that. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but that's different for certain people. Like I said, they had different weapons. They had like SMGs, pistols, shotguns, and stuff that were used here. Um, I think the best scene is like
Shit
a
was like a
car.
live COD campaign.
Yeah, basically.
Especially actually when they were running through that one town, Hialeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, but I was gonna say mainly that car chase scene too,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
where it's
Yeah.
yeah, which we'll get into some of these things later. There's
Just like that fucking movie, you have to wait to the end.
you know, yes, exactly, just like the Rip and how they make you wait pretty much until the very end to figure out who's the real bad guy.
And who's pulling the rip?
We're gonna be doing the same thing because, as always, with this, for the most part, with most things, we try to save the spoilers till the end,
Unless we fuck up.
unless we fuck up, which we also do. But you know, you guys love it anyway, so it's okay. But 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 yeah, so not many spoilers for this one, but we will save them towards the end because like I guess that's kind of like you just said what the movie kind of does. So we'll just try to talk about how we felt about the rest of the movie until those sort of things. But to me, I thought some of the characters and stuff in this weren't that great or anything. I don't know. Like I think the best characters is Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, obviously, especially Matt Damon.
Yeah, they definitely outshine and are just more prominent characters than I
To
feel
me,
like
like
anyone else
yeah,
almost.
to me like Tiana Taylor and like Stephen Yeun, um, from Walking Dead and stuff like that. They weren't like I don't know.
I feel like
I feel like they
everyone
weren't
else was
that
like a
great.
like slot character, not even like
Yeah.
B like side piece.
Know what they were reminding me of is like kind of like the Saints Row, like the new reboot version, like where they're like these. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking
No,
about?
yeah, I do. I can, yeah.
Like the kind of those other ones, like those other characters. You had Tiana Taylor. I don't know the other actress, the other female, and then Stephen Yeun.
Catalina something. I don't remember what her
Not
last
familiar
name
with her. I
is.
haven't seen her in a lot of stuff.
I've seen her in a few other things, but I couldn't name them off the top of my
Okay.
baked brain right now. That's for sure.
But what did you think of those characters? Did you kind of think similarly, or?
I feel like
But once again, it's one of those things where like people, what they go into with these sort of movies, especially like an action, which is essentially just an action movie, or like a yeah. At the end of the day, like we said, even though it might not be as much action as like John Wick or something, it still is an action movie.
yeah, yeah.
Or it's got like action elements of that genre in this movie heavily.
Yeah, I feel like those two actresses were mainly there just to like fill the roles of what they ended up doing
Mm.
once the rip was discovered.
Yeah.
Um
Did you
Other
ever
than that,
think that they
weren't
could
really.
possibly be like evil? Because I did not get that impression.
I did.
So I kind of
Well,
just felt
not like bad or evil, but
in on it or something, or try to take
not.
money or something.
Yeah, like when they're having a conversation at one point, and at that point, because again of how it makes you think who could be pulling what bullshit.
They did pull hints with them, I guess, too, of like making you think some things with them. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job at giving everyone a little bit of like each character, I should specify, a little bit of a reason at least as to why it could be them or should be them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to keep your brain
Because
guessing
honestly,
when
like,
it thinks
even
it knows.
When Steven Yeun's character Ro stays out on the street towards the end, at that point still I didn't think it was him.
Yeah.
Or possibly him.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they do a lot of things with him
like,
that make you sus of his character.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I say it like that, because we'll get into it with the spoilers. But
yeah.
They really they do the same thing with Affleck and
they make you super sus of
Matt
Damon.
And so just like going into that, it's like I feel like only those three characters really, because even the girl that owned that house, they didn't
and I guess
really.
That's how it makes it eventually kind of work, even for when they do reveal who it actually is.
Yeah, yeah.
Because even though part of your brain goes, I predicted that, part of it, like we said, also was that like they did trick your brain for points where they did make it possibly think, oh, what if it is this person though?
Yeah.
You know, so like kudos to them, because I think that was the intended effect with this, or like that was the main thing that they were kind of trying to achieve with this, you know?
Yeah.
Was like really make the viewers kind of wonder that throughout a lot of the movie and everything. So, but yeah, overall, like, I don't know, not a huge fan of this. Didn't drag too bad though, actually, like pacing wise. I think it did a little bit. I think like it's an hour and 50 minutes. I think this easily could have been like an hour and 30. I think they could have like made this like one of those like sort of like older school kind of like sleeker 90-minute action kind of movies.
Yeah.
And most, even if they shave 10 minutes, like 10 minutes can just be so beneficial to like.
Well, I feel like for how lackluster the rest of the crew, or you know, like
they could have cut a lot of that out.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Because they didn't give. They had plenty of, you know, like side or back bullshit that they were doing, you know, to fill roles of like people that would be doing that. But they didn't have
or even some of the stuff at the beginning, like of like them like kind of just hanging out and like showing that they were all kind of buddies or whatever. Basically, I was kind of like basically what I said to you earlier. I was like, this reminded me of like Saints Row or something, like where it's just like and even like Ben Affleck kind of addressed it or whatever, where he was like, what is this, high school? Like, what the fuck are you guys doing or whatever? Like where they're like, they were kind of being stupid back there or whatever, but it was just like, but you also just went back there and started hanging out with them, like, as they're still doing this stupid shit. So, I don't know. It was just some of that stuff where, to me, it was just, I was like, who's this, like, what's the intended audience of this? And clearly it's, like, Netflix. People who watch Netflix and stuff like that, or really like Netflix movies and stuff. And, or, you know, it's also kind of got that, a bit of that, like, direct-to-DVD action thing kind of too, and that's not necessarily a terrible thing. Like, I know that sounds like a really bad fucking thing to say about something, but it's just like, hey, sometimes it's good to just have like a cheesier kind of action movie or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of like a direct.
Plenty of fan favorites, or, you know, again, I can't think of any right now off the top of my noggin, but you know, it doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
No. I just think it's like somewhat forgettable too, though. Like, we're like, I'll probably forget this in like a month when we see like other movies and stuff, you know?
Yeah. Especially when we see Matt Damon in The Odyssey.
Do you think part of this was like him kind of bulked up for?
Oh, 100%. When I saw, especially when he's running through the woods and shit at the end of the movie, and you can see like his actual like full like build from the side, I was like, god damn, that is definitely him in shape for The Odyssey as well.
Yeah,
like,
I could see it. But yeah,
they're fucking old, man. I wouldn't.
They are.
Yeah, I wouldn't be jacked like that on purpose at that age.
Overall, this is a very different Benny Affleck and Matt Damon than we get in something like Dogma, that's for sure.
I'm so high I almost just drank this microphone.
Don't drink the microphone, Saucer.
Not tonight, not tonight.
Another night.
We'll put it in the blender later.
Another night you definitely can. Another night you definitely can, my friend. Just not tonight. Chair got caught on something. But yeah. So overall, I think it's definitely a movie that, a lot of people are gonna like. It's like the number one movie in the world right now, basically, based on like popularity and everything. Not box office, because this is only on Netflix. But yeah, I think people that are gonna get enjoyment out of this, you know, all the love to you and everything. I think, like I said, I think that particularly the Ben Affleck and Matt Damon characters were a little bit more fleshed out in this, and I just wish it was a little sleeker and that they maybe focused a little bit more on like kind of the bond between the two of them, or the friendship between the two of them. Because to me, they kind of tried to wrap it up with like the bond between the two of them without saying any spoilers at the end of this movie too. And to me, that kind of, it didn't feel terrible, but it felt like maybe it could have been better if they had focused more on the two of them rather than this like gang or whatever that of friends and stuff that they kind of have too or whatever. But yeah, I just think that hurt the movie a little bit, like those sort of elements. I think one of the other standout scenes I wanted to talk about was the one where they're kind of in that back of the car, and it's Stephen Yeun, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and then I forget that other actor's name.
Something Chandler.
Kyle Chandler.
Yes.
He's gonna be Green Lantern though.
That's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I thought that was a really good scene.
I think that was one of the strongest fucking scenes out of the whole movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And of course, it's basically the very end.
No, exactly.
It's some bullshit. It's some middle of the mall Beanie Baby bullshit.
So yeah, I just thought like they definitely could have done more with this movie. But yeah, I think does that pretty much get into everything we want to talk about before we go into spoilers and everything? Also,
I feel like that's all we can talk about without
that's what I'm thinking.
mentioning spoilers.
I don't want to keep like just going on and on.
Now I can say, if you're a fan of The Departed and have low standards, you'll enjoy this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're not gonna be mad. Also, and I think also your review we have to take into account with our reviews is that we didn't pay to see this; we just saw it on TV. And then also, me and you are very kind of lenient too. We're like, we try not to be as harsh as
Lucy Goosey, baby.
Try not to be as harsh as a lot of other people are with reviews and stuff like that, or can be with reviews. So, I think this is.
I have the standards of a 7-year-old. So.
Yeah, that's okay.
Easily entertained. Easily entertained.
That's okay, buddy. But it's I think it's a decent movie. It at least has a passing grade. I think for me, like it kind of gets like a passing grade. It's just not one.
Yeah, give it like a C plus.
I think it would be more like the D range for me. But like I said,
still passing.
That's still passing. Exactly. I think it's a D minus, but that's still passing grade. The rip, you get a passing grade from me. Because to me, when it's more in the C minus or above grade, or C or above grade, I'd rewatch it again, and I don't think I would rewatch this again.
I think if I am bored out of my fucking skull, and I've rewatched other shit on Netflix so many times, I would eventually rewatch this. It's just one of those ones, like.
Just one of those ones.
But yeah, no,
Directed
I feel like
this. Joe Carnahan.
I feel like the
one
way it made you, it makes you think about like who could be doing what or who could have set up what to me, especially because it is Matt Damon.
Mm.
It made me start thinking of The Departed, at least early on.
Yeah. Oh no,
Um,
I definitely was thinking that
and then
too.
also like at the end where like with the chase scene.
But then the characters and a lot of other things were not like Departed, because
Yeah, no.
Departed
I
actually does
mean,
an amazing job with
if
those. And these are pretty
anything,
one note, I would say.
I feel like the only other part that could be comparable is when Affleck's character and his brother get into that argument like Wahlberg did,
Mm.
and they were all in the
Oh, at the
precinct.
beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Have you ever heard of this director, Joe Carnahan, that did this?
I haven't even heard of Steven Spielberg.
He's done basically what looks like a bunch of directed DVD shit sort of stuff.
Well, then I guess your statement earlier is justified, no?
Yeah, exactly. The only ones I've recognized but I haven't seen, well, actually I've seen one of them. I've seen the A-Team reboot he did. That was shit.
Oh shit, yeah.
And then he's done The Gray.
Oh, that's actually not too bad.
Yeah, I've heard that's good. And
Isn't that Liam Neeson or am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's done one called Smokin' Aces I've heard of, but he's directed some episodes of The Blacklist.
Have you really not seen The Gray?
No.
Oh shit, we gotta watch that. That's good.
So maybe this yeah, so I don't know. Not maybe that's a little harsh direct to DVD, but I think it's not entirely. I think he's definitely got some sort of
I know The Gray was in theaters,
yeah.
but that's one
But
out
Liam
of a
Neeson
list.
also does a lot of direct to DVD movies now.
True.
So
Yeah. He was
so yeah, it's kind of I don't think it's an unfair thing to say that, really, right?
Yeah, because I mean, like even now, I feel like direct to DVD is relative, comparable, the same as direct to streaming. Like with some things coming out in theaters and on streaming, depending on who's releasing it. So because isn't that how last year's Naked Gun was released?
How?
Wasn't it both in theaters and streaming?
No, it was just in theaters. I think it came to streaming pretty quickly, though.
Okay, that must have been what it was, because I
Yeah.
remember not seeing it in a theater and seeing it pretty soon after. At least I knew it was out, but I'm also behind usually.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, get to see it for free at least at that point.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Usually.
But should we give the old warning?
Yeah. Oh, spoiler it. Spoiler it.
All right, guys. Spoil the time.
Time to soil your pants already.
Time to spoil
I soiled
it.
my pants.
Soil it. Austin's gonna fucking shit and piss his pants.
Shit on the carpet.
But do you want to get into the big spoilers for this one? Kind of who it ends up being that is dirty.
The guy you wouldn't think all along.
At least there's two people, kind of, right?
Green fucking Lantern.
Green Lantern was one of the ones that
never liked Hal Jordan, fucking douchebag.
We never thought it would be Green Lantern. He seemed chill in this, but no, he was the bad guy. And then Stephen Yeun was working with him, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So it was kind of too...
So if you got this far, congratulations. I fucked up and let that slip earlier. But I caught it.
We kind of saved it, though. It's okay.
I tried.
It's okay. I feel like honestly, I was also going to say, basically, when we got to this point, because when that kind of happened earlier, I was like, I feel like Stephen Yeun always plays like a bad guy in some of these things, though, too. I feel like there's been like one or two other things I've seen where he's like secretly the bad guy. And then I guess he was going to be Sentry originally in Thunderbolts.
Was that ever confirmed?
He was. He just dropped out of it. Yeah.
Wow.
So he was gonna be
I wonder if he
Sentry.
dropped out for something like this.
Yeah, I
fucking
don't know.
idiot.
It makes you wonder, right? Yeah, like, dude, why'd you do the rip? What the fuck? Thunderbolts got, yeah, people like that way better. Maybe owed not a favor to Ben Affleck or Matt Damon or something. Or this director.
Yeah, fuck.
But yeah, that's pretty much the big spoiler with this movie is that those two are kind of like the villains, and like we said, they play around with.
It ends up being the person that's in it for maybe a total of 5 fucking minutes.
Who, Kyle Chandler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's just like on the other end of the call.
Yeah.
And then you see like 30, 40, 50 minutes of bullshit. And then he gets involved.
Yeah, I thought.
But it was also interesting to me when they're in the town, Hialeah, and there's mention that it could be a bought out cartel town, which just, it's all just cartel housing.
Yeah, they didn't really do anything with that.
It ended up being that the cartel wasn't even going after these fucking feds. So the cartel literally waved down the feds.
No, but why was it? But then why was it that fucking place was empty? They didn't explain that though.
Wait, what? One more time? I'm sorry.
So why was it that street was like empty then?
Oh no! So that town Hialeah is in fact like a residential cartel. But yeah, so like that was all cartel property.
Okay.
But it was Chandler's Fed unit that wanted that money, that was working with whoever that wasn't mentioned, that cartel.
So they were right. It was a cartel owned street and everything. It just wasn't
the fucking
involved.
neighborhood was cartel.
It just wasn't involved with
because they did kind of go into it just by like briefly stating a few times that they just simply did not want to deal with the death of a Fed, especially another one.
They're like, hey, that fucks us over too.
Yeah, because it also ends up being Chandler's character had killed the police captain in the beginning that led to all this fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
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 So.
God damn it, Chandler.
Yeah, and even though
bad Green Lantern,
Matt Damon,
you're supposed to be the good one.
Character as Lieutenant does take everyone's phones at one point once they discover it's $20 fucking million hidden in a wall that this chick that owns the house now doesn't even know about. He's like, yeah, no, nobody's making a fucking phone call. And Yoon's dumbass has a fucking hidden one in his titties.
I feel like that's even where characters like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were kind of pissing me off, though. Like, because, like, I don't know, she was kind of stupid about it, too. But in a way, like, they were kind of being dicks at the beginning, like, when they came to the house. And then they were kind of just like, oh, no, you signed this. We're just going to fucking bust in, basically. And she's like, guys.
That shit was kind of funny.
It was funny, but at the same time, it was kind of like, wow, they're kind of assholes too, though. Like, where it's kind of like, it's almost like one of those things. Like, you've seen Team America, right? Like the South Park creators one. It reminded me very much of something like that, where it's kind of like I don't know, like something about this movie just screams like America to me, like in some ways too, where it's just like.
But I feel like that was also part of some of the low key subliminal points of this.
Yeah.
Especially with the acronyms tattooed on his hands and what they mean at the beginning and then what they mean at the end.
Yeah.
And you get the true
luckily
depth. But also seeing that one unit, that one Fed unit, Chandler's being fucking corrupt, but then also the other Fed unit that this story mainly focuses on that isn't corrupt, because even at the end you see they all give their silent number and it's to the dollar.
Yeah.
Which when it goes into like the low key shit like that, I can respect and appreciate that.
Yeah, because it wasn't super heavy handed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree, and that wasn't like the whole point of the movie, but they definitely had like some themes like that there with it.
Especially
That didn't feel like they were beating you over the head super hard, but I think they could have been done even better. Also, like, because this isn't a super deep movie, like we were saying. So to like, if they had better writing with characters or had focused more on like the characters that were kind of better written, I don't know, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was like really weird. Like I feel like they tried to put too much humor into this. Like I think that was literally the main
That too, but I
problem.
feel like that's another factor of what I was saying
And it's not
earlier
like
with
super
like modern day
yeah.
action.
And it's not really like it's not comedy. They just have like touches of comedy in there. And I'm just like I don't even know. It wasn't there's definitely like way worse examples like What If and stuff like that where like or Marvel Zombies where it's like you guys are joking way too much like for like how dark things kind of are. It's not that bad, but like still I think for the tone they were going for with something like this and everything, kind of like Departed and everything like we're saying, with some of these characters like the side characters and stuff, I was just like these are not fitting with the rest of this movie, like Tiana Taylor's character and like some of these other ones and stuff where I'm just like they just should have cut these out. Like not that they're terrible
Yeah.
not that they're terrible characters, but they almost seem like they're from a different movie. Or like they just don't fit I think with the vibe of some of the other characters or like what was working really well with some of the other characters. So, yeah. I just think that was a missed opportunity with this too. Um but no, but I'm really glad you got a lot of enjoyment out of this though.
I wouldn't say a lot, but decent amount.
Definitely more than I did, I think, because you said it
Yeah.
would definitely at least be one you
Yeah.
probably
But
be
that
on the
also comes with
lower.
I feel like a lot of shit that we both watch.
Yeah.
Because again, I have the entertainment, expectations of a fucking child.
Well, to you, like even though we don't give like scores here, to me, like I said, passing is usually like a 6, right?
28 hours ago, I watched The Rip.
Passing is usually
Take
like
a shot.
Passing is usually like a 6, so like I'm definitely above like a passing, but like to me, it sounds like you're more like a point higher or something like that, where it's like kind of just above that point where maybe you'd rewatch it again, but like just barely above that.
Yeah, but again,
point.
it'll be fucking months from now.
Yeah.
If I do. Or years.
Yeah. And that's cool. That's cool though.
I actually like Havoc more.
I haven't seen that. Is that the Tom Hardy one?
Yeah.
I gotta watch that too.
Yeah, you do.
I was gonna try to do a review for that months ago, but we got so sidetracked with so many other things. But
Yeah,
maybe we'll do that for you, Pose. If someone comments and says they want the Havoc review, me and Austin will do it for you. Right?
Gonna go home and comment that we want the Havoc review.
Well, you just first comment.
I didn't say that out loud.
Just a random.
We're gonna cut that in editing.
Just a random account name.
No, it's
Snoochies Boochies 462 or something like that. But yeah, so overall, I think that's basically it for this one, right? Our thoughts and everything.
yeah. That's our rip on the rip.
Yes.
Double shot, motherfuckers.
But as always, Pose, thanks for joining us on this one. Hope you enjoyed this review of the Pose and the spoiler discussion as well.
And hope you enjoy the movie if you watch it.
Yeah, me too. It's on Netflix, so just get drunk or high and watch it. You'll probably have a real fun time.
You'll be drunk if you take a shot every time you hear a character in that movie say the rip, I swear, by like minute 28.
Do a fun drinking game like that. That was actually a good suggestion. We are not responsible for anything that happens when you play the rip drinking game.
Yeah, be responsible, you assholes.
But anyway, Pose, if you want to follow us or subscribe to us, you can find us on YouTube at retro-TAINMENT and Grill TV Studios, Facebook at retro-TAINMENT and Grill TV, Instagram at 2Pose and a Pod and Borgesonel and Grill TV Official, X formerly Twitter at retro-TAINMENT and Grill TV, TikTok at retro-TAINMENT and Grill TV, and also you can find 2Pose and a Pod on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, Overcast, and Pocket Casts. Ooh. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I gotta just get just where I pause it and it's just like an inserted thing there.
No, you said that right. It's like, those people for the medication infomercials that just read all the bullshit and
Wicked fast, like a disclaimer.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at. Make sure to follow us and like us on all those
I
things.
just fingered the hole in my pants.
He just fingered the hole in his pants.
Scoochie Boochies.
Snoochies Boochies.
Copyright.
We'll see you on the next one. Peace, bros. Peace.